I partner with people to get more out of life than premature gray hair and six-figure salaries.
Do they need a coach for that?
Yes, more and more, I think people need a witness to having their life working. And they need someone that they can partner with to take a time out, to reflect, to look at what's possible for them in new ways, and to claim what they want in the world in a bigger way. And it's a new conversation for a lot of people.
Is this something that you have a particular angle on or a view of since you have an experience of broadcasting?
Well, not so much because of broadcasting, but because I did run a company as a broadcaster. I was a CEO of an organization, a broadcast organization, so I know what it's like to manage a bottom line for profitability and to bring love into that conversation in a new way so that the work becomes about something other than the bottom line. So I do have that experience. But I've owned my coaching company with my husband and a collective of 20 coaches for the past almost 10, 15 years now. And in that time period, we've worked with forward-thinking organizations to really ask deeper questions. And out of that, they've created different cultures.
In your work, do you have a certain profile of a client? You say you work with large corporations.
Mm.
What's a typical client for you?
Well, I have clients that do $22 billion a year and employ 120,000 people worldwide. And I have clients who are running smaller organizations, maybe 1,000 to 10,000 people, who are up to creating something important in the world, whether it's biotech or whether it's new ways of communications and telecommunications, or whether it's sports, giving us a new way to play and be present in the world.
How would you distinguish coaching from consulting or psychology?
Coaching is actually a vehicle for conveying people from one place to another. Psychology is a medical model which has people reflect on their past, pull the roles they played in their childhood out, and look at what didn't work or what got broken. And training is another thing that we see compared to coaching. And training is really about opening someone's head and pouring in skills or pouring in knowledge that they have to do their work effectively. All of them important. Coaching helps us step back and really look at what needs to be created, what's wanting to be created. In organizations, for example, we see that people create tribes, and then there's an individual who wants to individuate, move out of the tribe into what they want to do next, and the tribe keeps pulling them back. And then we have the individual who has been doing what they really want to do in the world, and they want to look at what's calling them next. And we see that more and more now in organizations, that it's becoming sort of the trend, if you will, to break out of this tribal consciousness into a symbolic way of seeing the world. And coaches work in that space of looking at how the individual moves to what they want to do next. And that's what our coaches are doing in the world.
You also have a reputation for fun. Is that an accurate reputation about you?
Yes, I love to have fun. And here's what's missing in the world for me is that the roles we played as children were created out of our archetypes, really what we were born with as far as programming, genetic programming. And I was a teacher, for example, because I was the oldest of 4 kids. And I have this teacher in me, that has to be honored sometimes. I was also the knight in shining armor. I would rescue kids from bad dogs, and I would rescue kids from, even in my dreams, I rescued my brothers and sisters, occasionally. And it was, so I have this knight. And then there was the queen. I know that may surprise people who, know me or get to know me, but the queen, not just because I was being a spoiled brat, but because I was looking after a domain, creating the space for other people to play in a different way. And so, king of the mountains sometimes, but you see all those things play out, and I see them playing out in organizations. And people have forgotten that's where it came from, was in that early childhood area that we developed who we were. We forgot that. We hit our 30s and our 40s, and we got respectable, And when we stop playing, we stop really creating the next level of possibility and consciousness.
Have you got a book about these wonderful ideas?
I have 2 books forthcoming. One of them is called The Extraordinary Game, and it is about playing. It's about really looking at who you are inside of an organization and having sort of the super secret handshake for playing beyond the expectations of you, for reaching that symbolic conversation, and really bringing other people into it so that the work isn't about the work, it's about how you create together. So absolutely, The Extraordinary Game is coming out this year, and then I have another one that I'm working on personally because even with my tribe of coaches, moving into a space where I am being more symbolic. And that book is called Mystic Grits, A Southern Girl's Journey to Wisdom. And it's truly about being the magical child and having that honored at a certain age and then moving away from it and hiding in my own closet for a number of years and then coming back to that, getting in touch with that. And maybe it's because, I've entered the age of AARP, which I hate, but in some ways, I'm sure there are benefits, but moving into that space where I am asking myself those big questions again, too, and working with different guides, for me to explore that and to put it out. I think the world's ready, my world, which could be very small, it could be just my family, but is ready for me to give language to what that journey has been.
I hear in you a passion to serve. I hear it in the way you speak. Is that an accurate reading of you?
Absolutely. It is why I'm here. It's why I'm on this planet. And service it's genuinely, I think, what we're here to do for each other. I think that is our social responsibility on the planet. When I was small, I wanted to be a missionary. Thank God I didn't do that. Because I think that the mission field that we have the opportunity to play in right now is really about a global conversation that religion could not prompt. Meg Wheatley, who is a renowned author and anthropologist, said to us as a community of coaches many years ago now, we're not making this up. Coaching was called forth from us as our opportunity to serve the universe. And that gave me a sense of purpose. It resonated in every cell of my body. And wherever I've gone in the world, I have looked at the work of coaching, the conversation of coaching, through interpreters in Japan, through interpreters in Barcelona, many different languages in a conference in Switzerland. It is the same conversation wherever we go.
Issue the invitation to people. Issue your request. Who do you want to serve?
My request in this world is that we serve people who are open, clients who are open to really considering the biggest questions, who are ready to partner with people in ways that are very different, that will allow us to play with them in a way that they look at the symbolic conversations and they look at their global responsibilities. And that global responsibility for a small company might be just how they impact the world around them, from a carbon imprint to to how they look at profitability, how they treat their employees, how they serve their own customers.
Thank you.
The end.